Alright gang, welcome back to our Farm Maze Challenge here on Riverbend Springs. It is now January. Rain is in the forecast, unfortunately, but that's okay. We don't have to do any harvesting today, so that's going to help us out tremendously with not having to deal with that. We might get a little hail damage. It looks like hail, actually, not rain. I think I said rain. It looks like hail damage, so might get a little hail damage. Hopefully we don't, but there's a high probability that we will. We are going ahead and doing the second application of fertilizer here on this field that we drilled in the last episode. Our field that we purchased over there, that we planted, does not need a second application. It already had an application on it, so do not have to worry about that one. But this one will need it. We also need to re-drill or sell, depending on what we decide to do. The small field down that way at the end of the hill there. If you look straight south from where our little arrow is right now, 58. We've been kind of back and forth on if we were going to keep it or sell it. Might end up selling it and purchase one of these other fields over here near us, because this is what I kind of mentioned I wanted to do more than anything, was buy a lot of the fields around here. I think it makes a little bit more sense for us specifically. So we'll see. We'll see what we get into and what we decide to go with, but there's that option potentially. And it is January. A couple of things are good to sell today, so we probably will do that. Some of the wood is good to sell. The planks long specifically is, I think, the best thing of all the wood to sell. The rest of the prices aren't terrible either, so we might sell that too if it, allows us to get to a point where we can purchase another one of these fields. Ideally, this one right over here that's a cornfield. That would be ideal for us, I think. But we'll see. I do already have the drill out just in case we do decide just to not sell that field, but I'm leaning more towards selling it. But we'll see. First things first, though. First thing we are going to do is we're going to go into here, and we are going to turn all of these onto selling right now. The wood beam is not perfect, but it's only about $300-400 off what it would normally be in the average best price. So given that fact, we're going to sell it, and there's not even a whole 1,000 liters in there yet anyway, so not too big of a deal, honestly. Now, we do have, let's go back up to our cereal crops here. Well, just our crops in general that are in the silo. We have sunflowers, which are not best till March, really, so we're going to hold off on those. Soybeans, we know that's June, so this is going to be a no. Sorghum, however, is best to sell now. 2368 at the farmer's market, which is close to us. Other than that, there is the 2403, the grained silo. Yeah, that's pretty much the next best one. 2,007 feet away. It's really not too far. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, even though it's not a huge difference. I think I'm going to do it. And let's see, the corn I think is also best now. Yes, it is. So, and it's dropping drastically. So we need to sell the corn as well. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to sell the corn first, because it is dropping so severely right now. 2139 right here near us. If we go down to the grain barge terminal 1, it's 2188. Well, 2187 now, I guess. Let's see, how far are we going for that? It's not terribly far away. I'm not sure it's worth it for the extra $50. $50 per 1,000 liters. We got a lot in there. Let me think about that one. We got all this wood here still that needs to be processed. A lot of wood to process. So it's really not going to give us that much more, honestly. I'm just going to sell it at the farmer's market. That's less wear and tear on this. It's less gas, too. We can only, hold 7,600. If we could hold a lot more, that would be one thing. But we're not holding that much, so we're going to have to make it... Ooh, just run right into it, Z. Good job, buddy. So we're going to have to make a lot of trips. I don't necessarily know if that would be worth it, given the amount of trips we'd have to make. So let's just sell it outright. This is going to be a lot of money, gang. We have a lot of corn in that silo. A lot of corn. This is going to be huge. Now, we do have a loan to pay off as well, right? So we could maybe push towards doing that a little bit too. We really should probably push towards that more than anything. Or we should be saving it and then get a square baler like I said I wanted to get. Problem is, we're only going to use that for a brief period and then it's just going to be sitting there. I guess we could put it in the maize, but we're not going to really utilize it for much more. Well, I guess maybe we would. Right? I guess whenever we have any kind of... Well, we don't really have... Hold on a second. I'm trying to think through this. We don't really have a drill, though, that's going to allow us to, you know, to drop straw, though. So we really wouldn't use it, would we? We would just use it that one time, maybe. Possibly we do a contract with it, maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I know I've talked a lot about... You know, utilizing it from a field we purchased, wherever, right? Harvesting ourselves to make the maize. But the more I'm thinking about the maize, I think we're probably going to have to buy some no matter what anyway. Because it's going to require a lot of bales. Because we need to square off the area for the maize that we're going to make, right? We got to square that whole thing off. And that's not going to be a... It's not going to be a quick thing. We're going to need a lot of bales to do that, just to square it off. Not even counting the maize in the middle. And this is making us good money, but it's not making us a ton of money. I'm going to sell it. We're going to sell this field, gang. Alright, we sold it. Selling it for a reason. It's a good reason, I think. Alright, this is it on the corn. And then we gotta get the sorghum. It's good. We're going to be up above 130,000 here. Probably up above 135. Yep. Oh, above 140,000. Okay, we're up above 140,000 with selling that field. Doesn't mean we have one less... Actually, I can turn that off real quick. Doesn't mean we have one less field, but that's okay. I'm just going to sell the sorghum, I think, here, too. Even though I kind of talked myself into driving the sorghum somewhere else, I think. I mean, it's still 2 trips no matter what I do for the sorghum as well, right? Yeah. 2369 versus 2402. Yeah. We'll just sell it here. 9 o'clock just hit, so we did make a little bit of money off the sawmill. We have to take the rest of those planks as well and sell those. So we got a lot to do. A lot of selling today. A lot of selling. It's mostly just a selling day. One other thing we also check is the used market. I'm sitting there, fingers crossed, praying that there's a square baler out there. It won't be. We never get that lucky, but I'm praying. It's nice, gang. We're going to be close to 200,000 here. This is really good. And here comes the hail. And now it's pouring down heavy. Hurry and get that sorghum out before the hail starts damaging it. Hurry. $190,000, gang. We're real close to 200. Real close. Okay. We sell that wood. We'll definitely be there. All right, let's just leave that there for right now. Okay. So, let's see. No. Nothing. That tractor is super nice, but again, we don't need that. We don't need that. So, square balers. $164,000. God, I cannot bring myself to buying that, gang. I just cannot. I simply cannot. It is so expensive. I can't. We can't do that. I can't justify doing that, gang. That's way too much. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Maybe if we made some more wood, maybe we could do it then. Maybe if I change out the sawmill into something else. But the problem is we have so much wood in there right now. It's going to take many episodes just to chew through all of that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay, so this field, we can purchase this field. It is a huge field. I mean, that is a massive, massive field. What is in here? Oh, potatoes. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want potatoes. What is this? That's 321,000 is what that is. It's too much is what that is. We can purchase this one, though. It's got 82% yield bonus, 100% fertilized. It would take up all of our money. But we would make a hell of a lot of money when it's time to harvest. How close is it to harvesting? First of all, let's look at that. Not close, really, at all. Okay. Well, that might change that. What is this? This is ready to harvest. What is this? I don't think that's canola. It's spinach. That's not going to work. This is corn. Gives you a bunch of land with it, but man, we don't really need that. It's all trees. We have so many trees as it is. This would be ideal, I think. It would take up all of our money, but it would be ideal to have this. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm wasting time here. I'll tell you what. Let's do this first of all. Let's hook up the fork here. And I'm going to start... Ooh, I'm going the wrong way. Or I'm facing the wrong way. I'm going to start stacking up the planks and the logs and everything here, and we're going to go sell them. And let's see how much extra money we get. Because the problem really lies is if I buy that field, we're going to need a little bit more money than what we have now if I'm going to buy it. Because we've got the loan and everything else, right? We've got all the other fees and everything we incur every month. So, if we're going to do this, we need to see how much money we're truly getting out of the rest of these pallets here. Let's see if I can get a couple more here. Alright, it worked. Let's give it a shot. We don't have a full pallet of eggs yet, and that's kind of to be expected, considering how few chickens we have. They're not really doing a whole lot of reproducing yet. We only have a couple of chickens that are of age. Well, I put this in the wrong spot. I forgot. It's over here on the other side. That's my mistake. It's right here, I think. Yeah, I just sold one, so it's right here. Having a hard time getting this guy off here. Can't even pick it up. There we go. All right, we're at 205. So yeah, we can definitely do it. I think we can do it. Let me sell the rest of these here, and I'll be back with you, and we'll probably purchase that field. Now, the rain is or the hail is coming down heavy right now, gang. That's the last one. $225,350. We will take that every damn day of the week. That is a lot of money. That is nearly enough to pay off the loan. Maybe we should go for the loan. I don't know, gang. I don't know. I mean, let's see. Hold on. Let's do some real true math here. So this field is 2.92 acres. This is 7.57 acres. That's a lot of acres. Our little field down here was 1.77. That's going to be a pretty severe increase there. However, we're not going to be able to really make a whole lot of money off that field for a while. As I mentioned, the corn, right? It's not going to be ready to sell when it's time to harvest that. It's going to be probably pretty badly priced at that point. You get this little bit down here. I don't really know what I would do with it, but... Okay, we're going to buy it. We'll buy it. Down to 41 grand, but we bought it, gang. It's ours. We own it now. So what are we going to do now? Well, that's a great question because we don't really have anything else to do. That field is not ready to harvest. None of these fields are ready to harvest. We've already done the fertilizing on this field. This field, we're just waiting for it to be ready to harvest. Our mushroom greenhouse it could use a little bit of water, but it's not terrible. But again, that's not going to set anything up for us. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to look at some contracts is what we're going to do. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? That one's not terrible, and that's not far away from us, really. Well, actually, wait a minute. Is it? 61, right? Or is it 50? 60. So that's really not too far. It's 5 grand. That would be pretty nice, I think. There's a lot of fields actually for us to harvest here. I think I'm going to take this one. I don't need to borrow any equipment. We can utilize our own. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to put this away. I'll grab the harvester. We'll head down there. Harvesting in the hail. Not something you should advise to do at any point. But it's a contract, so it doesn't really matter. I cannot turn today, gang. The game is doing the thing where it drives a lot of us insane, where it does not turn properly. It just continues to push forward. Oversteer, basically. I will see you down there. Well, it looks like it's nearly done. Hailing, sleeting, raining, whatever you want to call it at this point now. But it was supposed to be done hours ago. It's 12:30 and it's still going. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hopefully we'll be able to get the rest of this field harvested up here without without any issues, you know, without it saying that we've completed the contract, like it does before. Bit of an issue, I think, given the size of our little truck there. It doesn't really hold that much. So hopefully I did it right. And hopefully we come away with being able to harvest this whole thing, but we'll find out soon enough, I suppose. It was a long time lapse, gang. I know that. I apologize that it was such a long one, but had to get some stuff done, so went ahead and did it. It has finally stopped the sleeting, hailing, raining. It's all done finally. It's just cloudy now. When we're done here, we're going to need to go over there and fill up the gas on the harvester here. Now, we do have our little gas tank that we put in inside the maize, the farm maize, the corn maize specifically. But there is corn growing there, and if we drive through it now, we're going to kill that corn. We don't really want to do that. So since we're down this way anyway, we might as well just go ahead and knock it out now. So we're going to do that once we're done here. But we still have a couple of trips at a minimum of carting the corn to the selling point here, so we should get a good payday, a good little extra payday out of this, though, considering we sold all the corn today anyway, right? It's best time to sell it now, so this was a very good choice for a contract. Alright, looks like we're going to be able to get it all done here, gang, which is fantastic. That way we get the full amount that we can from the harvest to make ourselves some little extra money. We'll drive this up here towards the end. Looks like there's some hail damage here. You see that? I wonder if that was after we harvested. That's where the damage is. Now you can't really see it, but from a distance back there you definitely could. Perhaps it was there and I just didn't notice it when we first started harvesting. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to turn the turn signal off. Let's cart this stuff back there. I'll see you when we get back to the barge there. I would suspect that everything that's in the harvester right now we'll be able to sell and make money off of, and I would suspect most of this is going to go towards the contract. Alright, here we go. We'll see where we get to. I very well could be wrong here. I am going to be wrong here. Most of what's in that harvester, though, is going to go towards this. We're at 97%. Yep. So, another carton trip. Hopefully, it'll be the last one. But you never know. I didn't really look at the harvester before we left to see how much was in there. I probably should have, but alright, we are pulling up now, gang. It did all fit in here easily. There's only 4,944 liters. So we're actually not going to get as much as I expected, unfortunately. But should still be a couple thousand extra dollars. $5,511 extra dollars to be exact. So we can go ahead and turn that contract in now. So let's go ahead and do that. After a quick save. After it rudely interrupts me. Alright, nice. Up to $56,084. That's really good. That's really good indeed. And I do still have all the wood on selling. I'm going to leave it on selling all throughout the night. Probably turn it back off, maybe not in February, but probably in March, because it's still going to be decent to sell it in February, I think. So we'll keep that all on selling, and that'll help make us a little bit of money. And what we're likely going to do here is we're going to pay off part of the loan. It's not going to be a ton of it, but we'll probably pay off 50 grand of it, which will put it down to 200,000, which will be nice. I've been taking a shortcut across this grass, so just bear with me. Just cutting off that corner, saving myself a little bit of time. I'm just going to pull this here on our old field. Just going to park it right here. Shouldn't be a problem for now. Let's get into the harvester here. Fold everything up. And we're going to head to the left here. And go get some gas for this guy. We'll probably take the barge back over, I think. Haven't taken the barge in a while. Better put the beacons on. Probably need to do a little service to this as well. We might end up doing that too, but alright, while we're driving, let's go ahead and pay off some of this loan, gang, for the first time ever. Repay. Yeah, we'll repay 50 grand. That gives us $6,000. Should be fine as far as the loan and everything goes, and with the selling of the wood, we should be sufficient here to be able to pay that much off, so it's nice. Down to 200,000 left on the loan. It's not too shabby at all. Probably when we harvest that big massive cornfield that we purchased, and whenever we decide to sell that corn, we'll probably be able to pay off the loan with that by itself. Oh, hardware Bob. I wonder when, speaking of year one season pass, I wonder when the first release is going to come out. Normally it comes out, you know, it's by quarters, right? But there's only 3 of them in that first season pass or whatever it is. So might not get one until, you know, June, July, August. I don't know. Normally the map comes at the end of the year, normally. Probably gonna be about $1,000 here for this. $732. That's not terrible. All right, let's whip a Yui here. We'll head down to the ferry. Take the ferry back. There's Byron coming over here to cause mayhem for me. 2 Byrons. 3, 4, 5 Byrons. Oh my goodness. There's Byrons everywhere. Actually, this one is blue. This one might be Alfred. That's Alfred. Alfred Scarlet and a bunch of Byrons over here. And then there's a Walter White over there too. Phew. Alright, ferry's on the way. Let's just turn the engine off for a second. So this series itself, I've mentioned it, we're getting close to the end here. We're going to pay off that $200,000 loan. When we do that, once that happens, once the $200,000 loan has been paid off, if we still are not able to get a square baler, whether it's from a mod hub, right, from something coming out on mod hub between now and then, or a used market, if we're still unable to do so, we're just going to buy the bales outright from the shop, and I'll cart them all the way back up here, and we'll go that path. I don't want to just keep running the series just to run the series trying to get to that point. That's just a bonus thing I wanted to do for myself. Not all farm mazes have that, I know for a fact they don't. It just happens to be the one that's close to me, the one that we always go to, does have that. And so I want to do that bale maze, that straw bale, hay bale, whatever you want to call it, maze. I just think it's something fun, a little fun extra. Since the plan was to make my own farm maze, an FS25 back in the day, and since this game itself gave us the luxury of already having a maze set up, I wanted to add that on as another piece of, or another layer of difficulty, because it's going to take me a while to figure out how to set it up properly where it actually works. Because again, in case you stumbled across this and don't really understand how a straw bale or a hay bale maze would work, because clearly you can see over top of it. It's not like a corn maze where you can't see where you're going. You're only allowed to turn one way. Specifically, normally it's only allowed to turn to the right. So when you go in, you have to continue to turn right. You can go around in circles turning right. You have to figure out how to get out by only turning right. That might sound easy. It's not. It's really not. It makes you use your brain. Alright, off we go. Now, don't worry, I've got plenty of ideas that will replace this. What likely will happen, though, well, I guess I shouldn't say 100%, but I would say more than likely what's going to happen is when this series is over, whenever that is, whether it's 10, 15 episodes from now, whatever it may be, we probably will have a week off between what will replace this. And what I mean by a week off is not that you're going to miss an episode. There will be an episode of its place. It just may not be the new series. It'll probably be one of the other series we're currently running. More than likely, the Survive 25 series, I would think, would probably take the place for it. At least one video would. Possibly two. Who knows? But there will be probably a break, a little bit of a brief break, unless I have every kink worked out. I've mentioned it on other series, and I'll mention it again here briefly. I'm going to try to work that out a little bit with my members in their bonus video. They get a bonus video every month for being a member. So I'm probably going to work that out here in January and or February. Maybe both. But we'll see. And I really thought that they would have accepted that big piece of log by now, but it hasn't. That's very surprising to me. Alright, well, I guess it is what it is, I guess. I don't know why I got in the tractor. What did I get in the tractor for? What am I doing? I'm not with it today, gang. Okay, the final thing we're going to do today is we're going to start working on the parking lot a little bit. We're not going to fully complete it. We're just going to kind of try to outline it a little bit and figure out, where our spots are going to be. So I'm going to utilize this as kind of my understanding of how many spaces we can have and where things are going to be. I obviously want to leave a little bit of space here next to the shed. We don't want them parking right up against the shed, so somewhere around in there I think would be good. And this grass that we have here is almost perfect for it. Gives me an actual idea here of what we're dealing with, right? So go down to here, painting. All right, what do we want to put down? What kind of ground do we want? Flagstones or cobblestones or just some standard gravel? You know what, I think we'll do some flagstones. Why not? Okay, let me drive this across to the other side. That should be plenty. That should be sufficient space for another parking spot if we had. Yeah, there's plenty of room there for we could park parking lot going this way, people parking that way, and then people parking this way, going this way, right? There's plenty. There's plenty of room for each of them to back up. They won't run into each other or anything like that. So yeah, we're going to go with that. That's good. So let's get some more of this out. Now the other one we do, the overfill lot as I'm going to call it, that one will not have the flagstones. It'll just be like gravel because it's just an overfill lot. It's not necessarily going to always be used. If that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Okay. I think that'll work well. Might leave a couple splotches of grass here where you can act like, you know, grass is growing through it. Like it's been here for a while. Make it look a little bit more weathered. Now, I believe, I'm not positive by this statement, actually, before I say it. I should have prefaced that I'm not positive. But I think there are some, I don't think I have them installed yet, but I think there are some, basically some lines that you could utilize, right, to kind of envision it being a parking space. So we'll probably find those and download those at some point. It may not be next episode, but at some point we're probably going to do that. I'll take that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I like that. Looks good. Probably put some curbs and stuff in potentially as well, but I like that. And then this can be our little, like I said, our little spillover area. This can be gravel. We'll work on this later on. And then the straw and the hay bale maze or whatever it is will go somewhere in this vicinity here. Awesome. All right, we're going to leave the episode there, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you smashed the like and the subscribe button. It's free. It absolutely helps me out more than you can possibly imagine. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.